This one thing will get you a completely different life than the one that you currently have. And you most likely have heard this a million times. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many times that you hear something if you don't really bring it into the context of how it applies to your actual life. This one thing is so important that the most successful people on the planet leverage it every day to gain an edge on every single thing that they do. Every relationship, every business opportunity, every idea. It is the difference maker. It's a multiplier. It will literally transform every single thing in your life. And that one thing is the speed of which you act on things. Most people that don't have any level of success have an idea, but they don't do anything with that idea. Even if they mark down the idea, they take notes on the idea, they generally don't act on the idea with any level of velocity. And that speed difference is the difference. It is so crucial. You can have an amazing idea. It doesn't grow any legs unless you build an infrastructure around the idea. We're talking about thinking critically. You need to take the idea. You need to think about all of the aspects that you need to make it successful. That means, what does it look like? What does it feel like? Who does it serve? What's the problem that it solves for? How does it solve that problem? What is the value of solving that problem for who? You need to be able to break this down. When you are able to think about this, create the steps, create the structure, create the resources around how it can come to life, what you'll find is that whatever your ideas are goes from being a manifestation to being a literal reality in your world. And it's transformational. And the funny thing about it is that you literally can apply it to every idea that you have. It doesn't matter if it's an app, it doesn't matter if it's a business, it doesn't matter if it's something creative. Every single thing that you want can literally be leveraged by the speed of which you're willing to act on it. And here's why this is so challenging for people. If you act on something, you're going to fail. You're going to fail maybe 100 times, maybe 1,000 times. You're most definitely going to mess it up in some capacity. That's why it's critical to build up as much of a structure as you can. And it doesn't matter if you don't have all the information. It doesn't matter if it's incomplete. You literally just need to put energy into it. And the more that you focus on it, the more complete it becomes. The more textured it becomes, the more depth that it has. So when you're able to communicate that with whoever you need support from, whether that's your audience, your family, your friends, they're able to see that vision with the same type of perspective that you're aiming at least a similar type of perspective. But that reduces the speed to bringing it to life. Once you're able to think about it in that way and you put it into structure, put it into a deck, you're able to go get people to believe in it. You're able to get investors to want to put money behind it. Now, you might not need that for everything that you do, but you need the speed. You need the speed. If you leave it up to just you're going to get to it, you're not going to get to it. And the reason why is because it's in exchange for every other thing that you want to do in your life, everything that you're currently doing, whatever practices you currently have, whatever rituals, if you go to the gym, if you play video games, you watch TV, you go to the bar, these other things that are your normal way of doing life, you're not going to disrupt them just to infuse your new idea. And it doesn't matter how amazing or how valuable that idea is. And here's why. It's very, very difficult to properly assess the value of your idea when it's early, when it's a baby. You don't know how important it is. You don't know how important it is to you. You don't know how important it is to your family. You don't know how important it is to the world. And it's very difficult to see it as it could be. We know what it feels like to walk down the street every day and see a new restaurant or see a new car. We know that psychologically, we know those are other people's creations. We know that that's the world around us that other people have been creating continuously for us to live in, but it's very, very difficult unless you make it a practice to bring your own ideas into reality to that degree. And the second that you start taking actions on whatever that idea is with some level of speed, you're going to see your life become completely different every single time. If this conversation is resonating with you, share this with somebody that you love, somebody you care about. Put this in their ear. They need to understand that it's not simply about the speed. It's about the structure, it's about the context, and if they don't leverage that, their idea will die right where it started.